I'm really humbled that you've come to see me speak today. Perhaps we're the only presentation that doesn't feature or focus on AI. The last couple of days, you've heard a lot about that. It doesn't mean it's not an important focus for what we do, but our focus is really on the primary problems that we see in our customers. And I thought I'd share a bit with you today around what we're seeing, the trends that we're engaging with our customers on, and what we're seeing in the marketplace too, and ultimately how executives can guide their projects to deliver at pace without control. So good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing few days here, getting around the sponsor booths outside and enjoying these tech talks as well. Hopefully, you bring some gold nuggets back to your business to share with your teams too. Now, through these doors, you might have noticed there's a rally car sitting on the showroom floor. And that's kind of a random thing to see at a technology conference, right? Well, the reason it's here, and the thing that I'm so passionate about rally driving for, is that success doesn't come from removing risk in your projects, because there are too many potholes to fill in, and there are far too many trees on a stage to put hay bales in front of for that to be a realistic strategy. Instead, success will come from managing risk and maintaining a very high speed while you're controlling it. Now, if you slow down too much in a project, you'll lose the race. And if you push too hard, you will crash. I know this personally about my driving. So technology projects are not that different. Every organization wants to deliver at pace. And every executive, well, they want to exert control over their projects. They're responsible for delivering them. The challenge, though, is maintaining both at the same time. There's a lot of tension there. Now, in the last 12 months, New Zealand has seen 2 organisations write off more than $13 million on major ICT transformation projects. They couldn't deliver, ultimately, the solution that they intended to achieve through their business cases and through their delivery teams. But these projects, they're totally unrelated. They're in different industries, they use different technologies, and they also use different delivery teams. And in our humble assessment, these projects both suffered because the executive, the vendors, and the delivery teams were no longer working from the same page. At ProPartner, I work alongside boards, CIOs, delivery teams, and vendors to reduce their delivery risk and to make sure that they are delivering the outcomes that they promised for their critical technology projects. And today, I would like to share with you 3 things that I believe every executive or manager in this room can do to deliver their projects at pace without losing control. And they are to create a healthy tension, they are to create accountability, and they are to create alignment for your teams. And it all starts with asking a very simple question. I want you to think about the biggest project that you're involved with right now. And it doesn't have to be a technology project. Now imagine I walk into that project tomorrow and I ask 4 people on the staff this very simple question. What does success look like, and are we on track? Would I get the same answer from those 4 people on your team? Because what can happen is this. The executive sponsor, well, they'll believe that they're on track for delivering the outcomes intended in the business case. The vendor believes that they're delivering exactly what was agreed and written down, often. And the delivery team believes that the project is on track because they're clearing through the work each sprint. But the users, well, they're still a bit unsure. They're uncertain that the project that they're involved in is going to deliver the outcomes that they need to solve the problems. Nobody in the situation is deliberately creating risk, and everybody wants to be successful. That's not hard to find in our teams. They're passionate, but they're simply operating from different perspectives. And once that happens, the pace and control of your major projects will disappear very quickly. And so the first thing executives can do is to create a healthy tension. Now, this is where I might get myself into trouble because I know that some of my clients are sitting in the room with me here today. But here it goes anyway. One of the best projects we've worked on had executives who were able to create a healthy tension. The sort of tension that keeps people engaged, responsive, and accountable for the work that they do. And you might hear people say that we need to remove the pressure from our projects, but I think the opposite is true. In the work that we do, I think people in projects need pressure to perform. And in my experience, a healthy tension comes from two executive behaviours. The first is setting an uncomfortable pace, and the second is staying engaged throughout the delivery. I've noticed that projects, well, they'll adapt to the pace that their executives allow them to set. If a project misses a deadline by 2 weeks and nothing happens, well, the project team learns that deadlines are flexible. And if that happens again the next month, that flexibility will become the culture. And before long, nobody will remember the original project plan, and you'll be forever rewriting it. So the best executives I've worked with, they don't just push harder and maybe crash. They make it clear that time and commitment matters. Preparation matters. You expect papers before governance meetings, and you also expect analysis when decisions are made. The next time you set an expectation for pace, if your project manager takes a deep breath before answering yes, then you've probably created the right amount of tension. But setting a pace is one thing, and maintaining it is quite another. And that requires staying engaged throughout the delivery. This is the second part of creating a healthy tension. As executives, you are not trying to manage the project, but you should be trying to understand it, because your contribution is vital. It is really important. You should be seeking to understand the deliverables, even if they're outside your area of expertise. Because the experience that you have will identify gaps, risks, and blind spots that nobody else has thought of. And once you do that, priorities for the project and the delivery team will become much more obvious, and the project will begin to move faster. But setting a fast pace also means that issues will start to arrive quicker, and you'll have to manage those as you go. Now imagine sitting yourself in that rally car outside at 200 kilometers an hour. You'll be alarmed, and you'll notice things that you didn't even see traveling at 50 kilometers an hour down the road. I promise you that. And when your project is running at pace, your vendors will also start to raise concerns that they wouldn't have if the pressure was not on them and you weren't creating that healthy tension. Dependencies will begin to appear as well, but these are not signs the project is failing, even though they can be really stressful. In many cases, it's a sign that the delivery engine is starting to work effectively. Because good projects, they'll surface problems early, and great executive sponsors will create an environment where those problems can be seen, discussed, and resolved before they become those project failures. So this is the important bit. The pace you set and the engagement you maintain will directly influence how your project teams will behave, how quickly decisions are made, and how openly those risks are discussed. Now, are you still thinking about that project I asked you to at the beginning? Because the second thing that executives can do to keep pace and control in their project is to create accountability. And in my experience, clear accountability means you need strong commercials and you need strong governance. And one of the simplest ways to create this is through a well-written statement of work and our project management plan. A simple table containing deliverables, descriptions, owners, and due dates will become one of the most powerful artifacts on your project. And you'll be surprised how often these are left out of multi-million-dollar contracts that customers are using to manage with their vendors. I will personally come back to the statement of work and the project management plan multiple times each week, and I'll use it when writing my status reports and also use it to create accountability. Before every planning session, review, or status report, I'll share these documents with the project team and we'll answer these 3 questions together. Did we deliver in full, on time, and to specification? What work remains outstanding? And is the project ready to proceed to the next stage gate? At major milestones, these strong commercials will create accountability and make decision-making objective. And rather than relying on the opinion, the project can be assessed against the agreed deliverables and the acceptance criteria. And governance will also have a solid foundation to make decisions, resolve issues from. Now, the third thing that executives can do to create pace and control is to create accountability. For this, you'll need a framework for bringing the project team together. The biggest killer of momentum in project delivery is waiting time. And valuable days can be lost when people are waiting on advice or information or decisions through emails instead of through direct conversation with the project teams. In our experience, one of the most effective ways to eliminate waiting time is to create a discipline and an energy in connecting project team members. The best projects establish a regular rhythm of decision making. Now, interestingly, one of the best tools that I found for creating this comes from agile delivery. And that's not to say that every project needs to be agile. All of the projects we enable with customers are either waterfall or they have a hybrid approach. But the ceremonies themselves, they are incredibly effective. Planning sessions, regular stand-ups and reviews as a whole project team. These are structured opportunities for people to come together, to discuss specific tasks, identify the blockers, and make decisions on priority. And everybody is there to help each other out. I want to share a quick example to illustrate this with you. One of the best projects I'm involved in today, it spans New Zealand, Australia, India, and Europe. And one of the most challenging projects I've worked on had everyone located in the same city. Now, the successful project, it had a routine and a structure for connecting people and having conversations with all parties all around the world. And the other project, well, it relied on ad hoc communication and long email chains. And the result was frustration, delay, and a lot of waiting time. The reason I like these ceremonies so much is that they don't just create alignment, they reinforce everything we've discussed today. Ceremonies create accountability because owners are visible. Ceremonies create alignment because the conversations are frequent. And they create tension because the clock is running down on the sprint. And if you're going to take one thing away from this talk, make it this. To the executives, get yourself to these ceremonies. Keep them in your calendar and drop in every so often. Observe the discipline and the discussion being had by your project teams, because this will tell you more about the way that your project is operating with pace and control than between your steering committee meetings. So to conclude, the best executive sponsors I've worked with will shape an environment where success becomes more likely. And they'll achieve this when they create a healthy tension to drive pace, have accountability to maintain control, and they'll have alignment between the executive, the vendors, and the delivery teams. And you'll keep asking simple questions. These are the lessons that we've taken from the projects we work on and meeting those directly involved in those $30 million write-offs we all desperately want to avoid. Projects that succeed, they're not the ones with the biggest budgets or the best tech or the smartest vendors. They're the ones where leaders deliberately create this environment where project teams can thrive. Because when you practice these three things, you don't have to choose between pace and control. You'll get both. So one final invitation from me. If you'd like to talk about the project that you were picturing, what I've been given this talk, come out and see us at the Pro Partner booth through these doors. Come and sit in the rally car and enter the ride, or the chance for a ride with me at Whitford, Jacks Ridge tomorrow. We can talk about how to deliver your next project at pace without losing control. And my name is Christopher Gracie. I really thank you for coming and listening to me today. Cheers.
Awesome. All right.